A shadow moved across the dimly lit hallway, the muffled sound of footsteps barely audible over the hum of the building's old air conditioning. Room 303 was at the end of the corridor, tucked away in a forgotten corner of the hotel. Its door cracked open just enough to suggest something was amiss. The faint odor of stale perfume lingered in the air, a sharp contrast to the musty smell of the unclean carpet and neglected walls. It had been 20 years since the night that shocked the small town of Ellenville. The night when Room 303 became the center of an unsolved mystery, a case so cold that even the seasoned detectives working on it had all but given up. The hotel had changed hands several times since then, its once luxurious allure faded into a rundown relic of the past. Yet, the story of Room 303 had never truly been forgotten. Tonight, the air felt heavier, as if the building itself was holding its breath, waiting for the past to resurface. And then, the door creaked open. The camera zooms in, holding the viewer's attention as the eerie atmosphere takes hold. The voiceover kicks in. Welcome to the bizarre and chilling story of Room 303, a cold case that has haunted this town for decades, one that refuses to stay buried. The mystery of what happened in this very room has never been solved, and tonight, we're going to revisit the case, dig into the unexplained, and uncover the truth, piece by piece. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to join us on this suspense-filled journey. And don't forget to like and share this story with those who love a good mystery. Let's dive in. It was the early hours of December 14, 2001, when the body of a young woman was discovered in Room 303 of the Oakwood Hotel in Ellenville, a small, quiet town in the heart of upstate New York. The hotel, once a grand destination for travelers in the 1950s, had since seen better days. The town's population was small, the crime rate minimal, and the people were used to the quiet hum of daily life. But nothing could have prepared the town for what was about to unfold. The woman, identified as Emily Westbrook, was found lying motionless on the bed, her face eerily calm but cold to the touch. There were no signs of struggle, no obvious wounds, just an unsettling sense of dread hanging in the air. The only clue was a small, cryptic note that was found beside her. It read, "They're watching." Emily had checked into the hotel alone, having driven from the city for a brief getaway. She was an ambitious young journalist, recently engaged, and on the verge of a major career breakthrough. No one had expected her to end up here, alone, dead, and with no apparent cause. The police were called immediately, and the scene was quickly sealed off. Detective Roy Hargrove, a grizzled veteran of the force with over 25 years of experience, was assigned to the case. He would later remark that from the moment he stepped into Room 303, he knew there was something off. But what seemed like a straightforward case soon devolved into one of the most perplexing mysteries of his career. The initial investigation was a whirlwind of questions with few answers. Detective Hargrove interviewed everyone who had crossed paths with Emily in the days leading up to her death, but no one seemed to know much. The hotel staff reported that Emily had been a quiet guest, always alone, always polite. The hotel's manager, a man by the name of Greg Foster, claimed to have seen her in the lobby earlier that evening, but she didn't seem distressed or upset. He even recalled her ordering room service, a simple salad and a glass of water. Yet, her room key was handed back and without incident, and no one could say exactly what had happened in the time between when she checked in and when her body was discovered. Then, there were the strange circumstances surrounding the cryptic note. "They are watching." Was it a warning, a confession, or simply the ramblings of a paranoid mind? Hargrove couldn't make sense of it. Could someone have been following Emily? Who was they? And most importantly, why had Emily, someone with no known enemies, found herself in such a precarious situation? As the investigation continued, the more confusing the case became. After weeks of interviews and with no clear leads, Hargrove dug deeper into Emily's background. She had recently been assigned to write an investigative piece on corporate corruption. Could this be the key? Was she close to uncovering something that had led to her death? Her editor, Nancy West, confirmed Emily's involvement in the investigation but revealed little else. Nancy had been the last person to speak to Emily before her disappearance, and according to her, Emily had seemed unusually distant. She had even mentioned feeling as if someone was following her, but Nancy had chalked it up to stress, thinking that Emily's obsession with her investigation was taking a toll. In the days following Emily's death, a breakthrough came in the form of surveillance footage from a nearby gas station. The video showed Emily speaking with a man just hours before her death. The man's face was obscured by a hoodie, but there was no mistaking the tension between them. Emily's body language suggested fear, and the man appeared to be angry, gesturing violently as he spoke to her. Detective Hargrove thought it was a break he had been waiting for. The man in the video was identified as Thomas Garza, a disgraced corporate executive from a company Emily had been investigating. Garza had lost his job after being implicated in a massive embezzlement scandal and had been connected to several other shady dealings. Could he be the one who had been following Emily? The investigation into Thomas Garza led Hargrove down a dark path filled with unanswered questions. Garza was nowhere to be found, and all attempts to track him down were futile. His apartment had been abandoned, and his car was missing. But a deeper dive into his financial records revealed something odd. Money had been funneled into Emily's bank account in the months before her death, though the amounts were relatively small and untraceable. Who would send money to Emily, and why? Hargrove was convinced that Garza had something to do with Emily's death, but there was no solid proof. Emily's investigation had unearthed several corrupt practices within Garza's former company, and he had likely tried to silence her before the truth came out. But where was Garza now? Had he fled the country? Or was he hiding in plain sight, playing a deadly game of cat and mouse? Meanwhile, the hotel itself had become a focus of suspicion. The Oakwood had changed hands multiple times over the years, and there were rumors that its past owners had been involved in illegal activities, including money laundering. Could the hotel have been involved in something much darker than just a murder mystery? As Hargrove continued to search for Garza, more strange things began to surface. Emily's colleagues revealed that she had been approached by several people in the weeks leading up to her death, warning her to stop her investigation. Some of the warnings had been vague, while others had been more direct, with individuals telling her she was digging into things she shouldn't be. Despite all these leads, there were still several things that didn't make sense. The lack of any physical evidence in the room was baffling. Emily's phone had been wiped clean of all data, and her laptop had vanished. Why would someone go to such lengths to erase every trace of her life? And what about the hotel's old manager, Greg Foster? Why did he seem so eager to help, yet so reluctant to speak when asked about the night of Emily's death? There was a feeling that he knew more than he was letting on. 2 years after Emily's death, the case went cold. The trail to Thomas Garza had gone completely cold, and the investigation into the Oakwood Hotel had yielded little more than dead ends. Hargrove had retired, his hair now graying, his spirit worn thin by a case that had haunted him for years. The fate of Emily Westbrook in room 303 remained unsolved, a chilling reminder of the darkness that could lurk in the most unsuspecting places. But is it truly over? In the years since, there have been rumors, whispers in the local community, that the Oakwood Hotel still holds secrets. People have reported seeing strange lights coming from room 303 at night, long after the hotel had been shut down. Is it possible that Emily's death was just the tip of the iceberg? As we leave this story behind, the question remains, what really happened in room 303, and will we ever know the full truth? Do you think Thomas Garza was behind Emily's death, or is there a deeper conspiracy at play? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your theories could be the missing piece to solving this cold case. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with others who enjoy solving mysteries like this one. Stay tuned for more true crime stories that keep you at the edge of your seat. And thank you for watching.